Have you ever wondered why peace feels so far away? We try to find it in silence, in success, in love, but somehow the mind never truly rests. We wake up with worries, chase after things that promise happiness, and yet, when night falls, an emptiness still lingers inside. We think peace will come when the world around us finally calms down. But what if the real battle is not outside, but within? What if the noise we fear most isn't from the world? It's from our own thoughts, desires, and expectations. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." But few truly understand what that means. Today, I want to share with you a story about a monk who searched for peace in the mountains, but found something unexpected instead: the demon within. And through his journey, you may come to see your own inner battle more clearly and discover why you can't find peace. Yet long ago, in a quiet monastery surrounded by green hills and rivers, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. From the outside, his life seemed peaceful. He meditated every morning, studied the scriptures, and lived among kind, wise monks. Yet inside, his heart was never calm. Every small sound distracted him. Every harsh word from another monk made him angry. When others received praise, he felt jealousy burn within him. And when he made mistakes, guilt filled his chest like heavy smoke. He began to wonder, why can't I find peace even in a place built for peace? One evening, unable to rest, he went to his master, an old monk known for his silence and wisdom. Tenzin bowed deeply and said, "Master, I have done everything I was taught: meditation, prayer, discipline. Yet my mind still fights me every day. What am I doing wrong?" The master opened his eyes slowly and said, "You are not fighting the world, Tenzin. You are fighting the demon inside you." Tenzin was shocked. "A demon?" he whispered. The master smiled gently and nodded. "Yes, the one that feeds on anger, pride, and fear. You will never know peace until you meet it and understand it." That night, Tenzin could not sleep. The words, "the demon inside you," echoed in his mind, and before sunrise, he made a decision: he would go to the mountains and find this demon himself. Before dawn, Tenzin quietly left the monastery and walked toward the distant mountains. Mist covered the path and the air was cool and still. He carried nothing but a small lamp and his determination to face whatever awaited him. After hours of climbing, he found a dark cave hidden behind vines and stone. Something about it felt heavy, as if the air itself was watching him. Taking a deep breath, he stepped inside. The cave was silent except for the sound of his heartbeat. He sat cross-legged on the cold ground and whispered, "If there is a demon within me, show yourself." At first, there was only silence. But then, in the flicker of his lamp, a shadow appeared on the wall, tall, dark, and trembling like smoke. Slowly, it took shape. To his horror, the face staring back at him was his own. The shadow spoke in a low, echoing voice. "You seek peace, but you feed me every day with your anger, your jealousy, your fear." Tenzin's hands shook. He tried chanting, shouting, praying, but the more he resisted, the stronger the demon became. Its laughter filled the cave like thunder. He realized, trembling, that his fear was giving it life. The harder he fought, the more powerful it grew. Then, in that dark silence, he remembered his master's words. "You cannot defeat darkness with darkness." And for the first time, he stopped fighting. Tenzin sat still, his breath trembling but steadying with each inhale. The shadow loomed before him, waiting to be fought again. But this time he did not move. He simply watched it calmly, silently, like one watching clouds pass across the sky. The demon tilted its head, confused. It whispered again, "Aren't you afraid of me?" Tenzin replied softly, "You are only what I carry inside me: anger, pride, fear. If I stop feeding you, you have no power." The demon hissed, its form flickering like smoke in the wind. Tenzin closed his eyes, breathing deeply. He neither rejected nor embraced the fear, he simply saw it. In that awareness, something began to change. The demon grew smaller, its voice fading into silence. Finally, like a candle dying without air, it vanished into nothing. In the stillness that followed, Tenzin felt something he had never known before. Not excitement, not victory, but peace. He understood the truth his master spoke of. You cannot destroy the darkness by fighting it. You can only bring light, the light of understanding. And in that quiet mountain cave, Tenzin discovered that true peace begins the moment you stop running from yourself. When morning light touched the cave walls, Tenzin opened his eyes. The air felt lighter, almost sacred. The place that once echoed with fear now seemed calm, like a temple within his own heart. He realized then the demon had never truly existed. It wasn't a creature from outside. It was his own mind, shaped by anger, jealousy, guilt, and desire. Every time he compared himself to others, every time he let pride or fear control him, the demon had grown stronger. The more he tried to escape his emotions, the more they chased him. But when he turned to face them not with hate, but with awareness, they dissolved like mist in sunlight. Tenzin whispered, "It was never the world that made me suffer. It was my own thoughts, my own shadows." He finally understood. Peace does not mean having no demons. It means seeing them clearly and choosing not to serve them. With this realization, he bowed to the rising sun and smiled. For the first time, he wasn't afraid of his emotions. They were no longer enemies, they were teachers, showing him where the light needed to enter. Tenzin's story is not just about an ancient monk, it's about all of us. We each carry our own demons, though they may not have faces or names. Some come as anger that burns quickly and leaves regret behind. Some hide as fear, whispering that we are not enough. Others disguise themselves as jealousy, pride, or overthinking, quietly stealing our peace each day. Every time we hold on to resentment, replay old arguments, or chase approval from others, we feed those demons. Every time we refuse to forgive or let worry run wild in our minds, we make them stronger. The truth is, the demon outside us doesn't exist. It's the energy we give to negativity that shapes it. The more we think about what hurts us, the more power it gains. But awareness changes everything. When you notice anger rising and simply say, anger is here. Instead of reacting, you starve the demon. When you choose silence over argument, gratitude over envy, or acceptance over fear, you take away its food. The Buddha taught that suffering begins with attachment and ends with awareness. Peace is not found by escaping the world, but by seeing the world within clearly. So how do we free ourselves from these inner demons? The path, as the Buddha taught, begins with awareness. You don't need to fight your thoughts or destroy your emotions. You only need to observe them, like watching clouds drift across a clear sky. When anger appears, notice it. When jealousy whispers, listen without judgment. When fear arises, breathe with it instead of running away. This gentle awareness is not weakness, it is power. It is the light that dissolves darkness. Then practice compassion for yourself and for others. Understand that every person you meet is also fighting their own unseen demons. With kindness, the heart becomes lighter, and forgiveness becomes possible. And finally, practice letting go. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every battle must be fought. When you stop trying to control what is beyond you, peace finds its way back. Remember, peace is not the absence of storms. It is the calm that remains within them. And the demon loses its strength the moment you stop fearing it. The moment you see it as it truly is, just a passing shadow in the light of your awareness. Years later, Tenzin became a wise teacher, calm, gentle, and deeply kind. Those who met him said that simply being near him made their hearts feel lighter. When people asked how he found such peace, he would smile softly and say, "I did not destroy my demon. I understood it." He taught that the demon was never an enemy, it was a messenger, showing where healing was needed. Every fear, every doubt, every burst of anger was a chance to awaken. He would tell his students, "Do not curse your darkness. Light a lamp instead. Every time you look within with honesty, you bring that light closer." The same truth lives in you. Your struggles, your pain, your restlessness, they are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to awaken, to see clearly. So pause for a moment. Breathe. Ask yourself, what am I feeding inside me, peace or pain? The battle ends not when the demon disappears, but when you see that it was never separate from you, because the light you've been searching for, it was always within.